Do you want to know more about detailing, weathering locomotives? Why don't you stick around and watch this segment, see how we do it on my in-scale monorail with this AR secondary. Hello everyone, Joe from Central Jersey Conrail and in-scale. Welcome back to the Locomotive Shop. So this is our last Locomotive Shop here for 2019, and I figured we'd finish it up with a big project here. So I've been waiting to do this project for a while, and I think now's the right time, and we're going to do Conrail's SD50 number 6707, which is the Support the Troops logo. Okay, so what is this unit all about? So in August 2nd, 1990, the United States started sending troops to the Persian Gulf. Iraq had invaded Kuwait and was occupying Kuwait. The United States sent their troops there to prevent any further acts of aggression by Iraq. The United States gave Iraq an ultimatum to withdraw from Kuwait, and on January 17, 1991, they failed to meet that deadline. So then the United States started combat operations for our Desert Storm. So at the time all these events took place, the United States military was an all-volunteer force. Also comprised a lot of reservists and National Guardsmen. So reservists had a job where they would go on weekends to do their military service, and then they would do their 1 week of active duty per year, and in times of war that they would be activated. When they weren't doing their military operations, they were part of the workforce. They had jobs. They worked on railroads. They did everything. So when this whole operation kicked off, this was the first time in history that an all-volunteer force comprised of a lot of reservists were going to war. So there was a large outpouring of support from the community, from all of the citizens here to support our troops during this endeavor. A lot of the corporations took on special campaigns to support the troops, and a couple of railroads started with support the troops paint schemes for their locomotives or rail cars. The two to come to mind obviously is the Conrail scheme, and the other one is the Union Pacific's Desert Storm scheme. So in my research for this project, I couldn't find too much backstory on why Conrail went with the scheme that they did. I did find some other evidence from history that the yellow ribbon was kind of a key symbol during the Desert Storm campaign. And the literature that I found was kind of vague, not very documented, but apparently somewhere down in the Kentucky, Tennessee region, one of the military bases out there, the wives started hanging yellow ribbons for their husbands when they left base. And that goes back to World War II, to the old song, tie a yellow ribbon around the tree for me. So I think that's where the yellow ribbon became symbolic from, was the carryover from World War II, and in that region down there where they were supporting their troops. Conrail kind of hinged upon that yellow ribbon. I know it was very commonplace throughout the country during that time period. So there's a little bit of brief history. There's tons and tons of information on these topics. I'm not going to go in because it's beyond the scope of this video. I implore you to go out there and do the reading yourself so that you can learn more and educate yourself about this. So carrying on in this project, we are going to be using this Locomotive 6707 was an SD50. Just to refresh everybody's memory, SD50 is built by the Locomotive division. It was approximately 3,500 horsepower, and they were manufactured from December 1980 through July of 1987. This particular unit, the SD50, I really like this unit. The reason I like the SD50 is because it's kind of that last of the big standard cab locomotives, was that order. Now, it had an inherent design flaw in its motor. They had constant crankshaft problems, so that's why the unit never really got popular. And the follow-on of the Locomotive series, the SD60, was a better unit. And Conrail only had the standard cabs in SD60, but they only had 4, and then they quickly adopted the safety cab. So that's why I kind of really like this SD50, even though it's a dog, I'll admit it, but it's the last of the standard cabs. So that's why I'm picking to do this scheme. Number one, because Conrail didn't do very many exotic paint schemes, and it's an SD50. Okay, so the unit that I've selected for this project is an Atlas SD50 number 8673. It's a CSX patch unit. You know how I feel about CSX patches. So I've been looking to change this out for a while. This was a candidate for this project, however, it developed some running issues. What happened was this unit actually has some sentimental value to me because this was the first DCC equipped locomotive that I bought when I got home from the Navy. I used it a lot with Central Jersey N-Track. I had a lot of running time on it, developed some running issues, and lo and behold, my good friend Ben pulled through again, offered to rebuild it, put in a better decoder in it. It's running really, really good now, so I think now is a perfect time to go ahead and do this project. Okay, so with all the backstory and all the chit-chat out of the way, let's head over to the bench and get to work, and let's make this unit come to life. Okay, so here's our locomotive shell. Got the decals, they're all set. We're going to put those aside. First thing we need to do is, I've already disassembled the chassis, the shell here. I made the determination that what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip and repaint the whole thing. You know, to try and get these quality logos off, and get them off of here without damaging the rest of the stuff, it's not going to happen. So I'm just going to have to strip the whole thing and repaint it. The other thing is getting all this CSX stuff off is going to be very hard. So what I'll do is I get set up and we'll bathe it in alcohol for the night and then repaint it. So I also made the determination that I'm going to try and not have, I don't really want to mess with having to repaint all this because this is all accurate. That most I may have to mask off and just spray the battery boxes in here to match the color, because I don't think the Conrail blue and Model Flex is going to come out the same color. But we'll work on that as we progress. Also, just to let you know that I have pulled out all the window glass and number boards. Alright, I'll let it just soak in there overnight. We'll come back tomorrow. Okay, so after soaking in the alcohol and using a toothbrush to get it all off, got all the paint and decals off, nice smooth surface, washed it real good with soap and warm water, and now we're ready for some primer. So I got my airbrush loaded up with Model Flex Primer Gray, and we'll go ahead and shoot it. Okay, so the paint's dry. The nose came out really good. Very happy with that. So we're going to move on to decaling. So I got a nice sharp hobby knife, a bowl of water, a little paper towel that's dampened, a pair of tweezers, and my decal sheets. I got the diagram that they gave you from Microscale. I also have my phone handy if I need to check on some pictures on the internet. So let's get to going here. The first thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the ribbon. I'm going to cut out that ribbon. Wow, that's crazy. Such a big decal. Now I'm going to put some microsol right on it so it lays flat. Okay, so looking at the set for Support the Troops logo, doesn't come with any data or any kind of warning labels or anything. So I had to break out my set 60628 is the diesel data and striping kit, because there's a bunch of high voltage signs that go on here that I don't have, and then the label under the cab, Conrail always put the unit type, so this would have SD50 underneath it. I have to get that off the data sheet. So let me get these on. Okay, everyone, so there you go. That's how we did it. Very, very happy with the project. So happy with the way it came out. You know, at some point during it, I was a little apprehensive, especially when it came to the number boards. Wasn't sure how they were going to turn out, but they came out great. The other thing was spraying that black on the nose. You know, it came out much better than I anticipated, so I'm very happy about that. Overall, project just came out perfect. And like I said, you know, I've been wanting to do this for a long time because I'm a veteran myself, and I think it's a great tribute to, you know, the veterans everywhere, especially the Desert Storm veterans. So, yeah, very happy to have this on the layout. And so, you know, I got to give a big shout out to Ben. Again, he pulled through and worked a miracle on this unit because, like I indicated in the beginning, it had a lot of rough running problems, and he was able to correct that, put a nice new decoder in it for us, and tuned it up. So, again, thank you, Ben. You pulled through and pulled me out of a jam again. So, and with that, that wraps up 2019's Locomotive Shops. You know, very happy we did. I'm glad we came back with the series this year. Did a lot of good projects, and I got a lot in store for next year. So make sure you tune in and follow along in the 2020 season of Locomotive Shop, because I got a lot of great projects lined up, and we'll have fun doing it. So that's going to put a wrap on this video. If you're seeing this video for the first time, you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to our channel because we'd love to have you follow along. I'm always producing great free content like this. And if you haven't done so already, please check out our Facebook page and Instagram account because I'm always posting daily updates of all the status of the layout down here. And otherwise, that's all I have for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.